So this picture on the left is from a video that, or maybe a video from an article or something that popped up on my, I don't know, my internet or my home screen, whatever. And yeah, so you can see it says Avi Loeb. So right away, you know who he is. And it says explaining mysteries surrounding 31 Atlas comet. And so I guess they were talking about this comet maybe hitting Earth, and that maybe this comet wasn't really a comet, but maybe extraterrestrials, right? Aliens. Um, so and then they were mentioning in that maybe it's going to pass Earth on December 19th, 2025, right? This year. So you can see on the right there, Abraham Avi Loeb is an Israeli and American theoretical physicist, right? So a fake physicist, an astrophysicist, which is fake. And so, but anyway, it says he's American and Israeli, so a dual citizen. And but then it says that he was born in Israel. So why is he a member or a citizen of America? Shouldn't be. Um, anyway, then it says since 2017, this Jew has been arguing that alien spacecraft may be in the solar system, right? Um, so now I guess he gets to come full circle if they roll out the fake alien contact crap or whatever they may or may not do. Um, but of course, you have a Jew spreading this lie. It's just ridiculous. Everywhere you look, it's always a Jew. And of course, being a Jew, they always have these fake stories about their ancestors, right? And it says his grandparents fled Nazi Germany before the war and immigrated to Beit Hanan, right? Which I guess is in Palestine, what it really should be, not what they today call Israel. Um, so, yeah, and they didn't flee Germany. They emigrated from Germany, as many did, because they were allowed to peacefully. Um, apparently, this guy's been making the rounds recently, so he was on Joe Rogan, and I just thought this comment was interesting. He said that he's not on the internet or social media or whatever, right? And Joe Rogan said, "Oh, thank God, somebody, right? Somebody's not on social media." And then this Jew said, "Well, it's thanks to my wife, not God." And it's just interesting that he would say that because obviously Jews reject God, real God, right? And they don't tell you who their God is and who they're worshiping. But yeah, and then the Jews think that they themselves are God. So I think I talked about that in a prior video. So anyway, the comet that he's talking about, or this alien spacecraft, is named 31 Atlas. And look at that. In the news articles, it says that it likely weighs more than 33 billion tons. Avi Loeb said. 33 billion tons. It can't be 34, can't be 32, it can't be any other number but 33, right? Just like 33 hours to catch the supposed Kirk killer, and 33 hostages were taken in Israel, and 33 everywhere you freaking look. It's retarded. So besides number one, you have a Jew speaking here. You also know it's fake because they're using the number 33. So you know that they're somehow, for whatever reason, communicating to each other here. Um, yeah. So anyway, whole thing's fake. No such thing as aliens. Probably not even outer space like how we're told. Especially if you know the firmament and stuff like that. There is no outer space. So anyway, he said that it would come to Earth on December 19th. December 19th for the Jews is the eve of Hanukkah. Um, and it says that that day symbolizes the ignition of divine illumination in darkness. Um, so, I mean, Jews are dark, Satan's dark, so some kind of connection, I'm not really sure. It says in Kabbalistic meditation, the first candle represents the initial spark of insight, of wisdom, right? Wisdom. What does that sound like? Gnosticism. Oh, that's Jewish. Um, so it says, yeah, December 19th carries a genuinely rich esoteric charge. It's literally the threshold between darkness and light, ignorance and wisdom. Um, then over on the right, it says, so December 19th, 2025, right, is also known as Kislev 29. So this, um, oh no, yeah, December 19th for, 2025 is Kislev 295786. All right. Where was I going with this? I confused myself here. Because the December 19th doesn't equal Kislev 19th this year. It does every 10 years, and that's important, but it doesn't this year. So, man, I don't remember. Sorry about that. But anyway, what is interesting, over on the right there, they're just talking about the Kislev 19 date, which is important to the Jews. And it's important to apparently Chabad Lubavitch and Hasidism. Um, so I thought that was pretty interesting. And it mentions a couple of guys here who were important in Chabad Lubavitch and Hasidism, Hasidism, whatever it's called. And uh, over on the bottom right there, it says that some guy, Rabbi Dovber, was the successor of the Baal Shem Tov, right? And on this day, December 19th, 1772, he passed away. So it's important to them. And so I'm going to get to the word Baal in a moment. I thought that was interesting, which Baal, I guess, can just mean Lord, but it also means or implies Satan. So I thought that was interesting. And then it said that this day is kind of like, oh, the Rosh Hashanah of Chassidism, right? So Rosh Hashanah is the Jewish New Year, and it's one of the most important and spiritually significant holidays in Judaism. And so this December 19th or this Kislev 19th is apparently extremely important to Chabad and the Hasidic groups. So, so I don't know if any of this stuff actually matters or is important for what this Jew in the picture is talking about with this fake comet slash alien nonsense. I mean, he's lying. They're lying for a reason. What is the reason? How are they going to use it? How is it going to play out? How are they going to deceive people? I don't actually know. I'm not sure, but I know it's a lie. So I was just trying to figure out what are they doing here? Why is it important to them, right? So obviously the word Baal in the Bible for the most part is a pagan deity, um, and right venerated throughout Canaan, and the Jews are descended from Canaan, Edom, and Cain, who's Satan himself, or was Cain was the son of Satan. So um, so anyway, you can read that, right? Uh, just talks about Baal worship in Israel, right? Because obviously, unfortunately, Israelites who are the white race fell off to follow their enemies many times, like Jews. Jews are not Israelites, so um, and just like you can see in today's world, right? The Jews have people doing everything antichrist, living their lives the opposite of how we were commanded and how we should in order to be healthy, both spiritually, physically, mentally, etc., etc. And so apparently, what's happening today on overdrive has been happening to our people all throughout history. So, anyway, and then on the bottom right from the digital Jew, the chat GPT, uh, the modern conception of ETs, right, of aliens. Um, Look at that. It says that it emerged during Enlightenment era astronomy. Well, that's interesting because as I've talked about in other videos, the Enlightenment was Jewish. And the Jews had their own quote unquote enlightenment called the Haskalah, going along side by side the supposed real enlightenment. However, in my opinion, I think it was really just one and the same thing. It was just Jewish antichrist subversion of knowledge and wisdom and Christianity. Is where they really started getting power in the modern world. And then it says Kepler and these other guys, science fiction writers, I guess, started pushing the alien nonsense, which H.G. Wells, I think I talked about in other videos, if I'm remembering correctly, and he was not a good person, basically a communist. Um, Voltaire, unfortunately, he had some good things to say that were anti-Jew, but at the same time, he was very anti-Christian and spoke a lot of nonsense as well. So the Germans, the NSDAP, railed on him for being a freaking moron and pushing Jewish ideas. So um, yeah, and then it says Jewish people who contributed to the idea of aliens. Isaac Asimov, he's a Jewish author um, talking about aliens. I got to look him up. And then Carl Sagan, I heard of him, but I'm not familiar with him. And he was a Jew and apparently popularized the scientific search for aliens, which the aliens are right here in all of our white nations. The Jews have changed the meaning of the word alien for modern times and for the white race. The alien used to mean, which I should have included it here, was people not of your race, people not of your nation. They were aliens, from another nation walking around your town or whatever. But now they claim, now it's used as being something from another world. Um, so yeah. And you know what? Maybe, well, you know what? I'm not going to get into it here. So anyway, that's all I have for this video.